Welcome guys. In this video, we will be comparing submachine guns aka SMG's stats and recoil patterns and find out which is best for you. But first, let me tell you a few things about SMGs and what they have common in all. SMGs are made for the close quarter fights to give a good competition against assault rifles, which it sure does. And sometimes it even wins, so SMGs are most effective in close range. As the range increases, the performance of SMGs will decrease due to the low bullet velocity. All the SMGs suffer from high bullet drop in mid and long range, which makes this gun suitable only for close range. Let's start the comparison with Micro Uzi. It's everyone's favorite because of its rate of fire, which can shoot up to 20 bullets in just a second. Micro Uzi has a base damage of 26 when the bullet hits in the chest with no vest and 45 base damage in the head with no helmet. So with a Micro Uzi, you can kill anyone in less than a second if you manage to hit the shots correctly. Uzi has bullet velocity of 350 meters per second, and as for mag size, it has 25 rounds and 35 when extended, and the reloading speed is 3 seconds and 2 seconds with quick draw mag. And now let's compare the recoil pattern with no attachments and full attachments. We will take 3 samples each with and without attachments and compare them. This is the results without any attachments. By the way, we are using extended mag in order to get 30 bullets in all the SMGs, and this does not affect the recoil at all. And now we will do the same exact test with full attachments. Comparing both recoil patterns, we see a big improvement using attachments. The vertical recoil is reduced by almost 40%. This is the lowest recoil in any fully automatic weapon in the game. And now the Vector. I think Vector is an underrated gun. It has a base damage of 32 when a bullet hits in the chest with no vest, and the headshot damage is 68 without a helmet. And it has a rate of fire up to 0.06 seconds, which can shoot up to 16 bullets in a second, and bullet velocity is identical to Uzi. And as for mag size, it has 19 rounds and 33 when extended. The extended mag is highly recommended for this weapon. And now the recoil pattern of a Vector. The first test will be without any attachments and 3 samples. And this is the result. Looking at the recoil pattern, we can see that we have tight spread in first 8 to 10 bullets, but the spray becomes inconsistency during the continuous spray. And now the same exact test with optimal attachments. This is the results. When we compare them side by side, the recoil is reduced by 30% when using attachments. And now the PP-Bizon. Something is different about this SMG is that it doesn't require as many attachments as other SMGs. It only has a muzzle attachment. Anyway, it has a base damage of 36 and headshot damage of 62. And the rate of fire is 0.09, which can shoot up to 10 bullets in a second. The bullet velocity is 408 meters per second. And the best thing about this SMG, it has 53 bullets in a single mag, and it doesn't use extended mag. As for reload speed, it's almost 4 seconds. Which makes this weapon best choice in the early game. And now the recoil pattern comparison. The first test of PP-Bizon with no attachments. The recoil pattern is easier to control as there is no unpredictable horizontal recoil. Now the same exact test with compensator, it's the only attachment it can have. This is the result. The first 10 bullet recoil has 0 horizontal recoil and low vertical recoil, and this makes it easier to control. Now comparing no attachment and full attachment recoil pattern, the vertical recoil is reduced by 10% when using a compensator. And now Vikendi exclusive SMG, which is MP5K, it has base damage of 34 and headshot damage of 59. The rate of fire of MP5K is 0.06, which can shoot 16 bullets in a second. And the bullet velocity is identical. And as for mag size, it has 30 rounds and 40 when extended, but the reload speed is 2 to 4 seconds, depends on what attachments you were using. And now the recoil pattern test. The first test will be without attachments. Looking at the recoil pattern, you can clearly see the horizontal recoil is more noticeable, which makes this weapon handling harder while using ADS, especially when you want to spray down an enemy from 50 meters away. And now the exact same test, but with full attachments. This is the results. And now comparing no attachments and with full attachments side by side, you can see the difference is noticeable. The horizontal recoil is reduced a lot, which makes handling much better. The first 10 bullet spray is very accurate, and 10 bullets are enough to kill an enemy. And now UMP45, which used to be the best SMG before the patch updates. UMP45 has a base damage of 40 and headshot base damage of 68. And the rate of fire is 0.09, which can shoot up to 10 bullets in a second, and the bullet velocity is 360 meters per second, which is identical. And as for mag size, it has 25 rounds and 35 when extended, and the reloading speed is 3 seconds and 2 seconds with quick draw mag. And now let's compare the recoil pattern, first without attachments. This is the UMP45 with no attachment recoil pattern. And now the same exact test with optimal attachments. And now comparing no attachments and with full attachments side by side, you can see the difference is noticeable. The vertical recoil is significantly reduced by almost 50%. And now the Tommy gun. I think Tommy gun is a truly underrated gun, and nobody knows these stats. It has a base damage of 42, which is higher than 5.56 assault rifles, and headshot base damage of 71. And rate of fire and bullet velocity is identical to UMP45, and as for the mag size, it has 30 rounds and 50 when extended. The reloading speed is 2 to 3 seconds. And now the recoil pattern comparison. For the first test we use no attachments. These are the results. And now the same exact test with full attachments. Now comparing with and without attachments side by side. Looking at the recoil patterns, we can see attachments doesn't make any sense, but it does reduce recoil by 10%. Now comparing recoil of all the SMGs side by side, with and without attachments, and I also added M416 recoil to compare. So we see that Micro Uzi has the lowest amount of recoil, and combine that with a super high rate of fire, Uzi is a beast. Vector, Bizon and MP5K have almost the same amount recoil, but Bizon recoil is easier to handle. UMP is a really good weapon. It has high damage and also high recoil, which can be easily controlled if you have optimal attachments. UMP is always a better choice when you have the perfect attachments. Tommy gun has the highest recoil in this comparison, which it should have, because it has the highest damage in any SMG. And now the HipFire recoil comparison. As you can see, Micro Uzi has the lowest recoil, which makes it more accurate, following up by Vector, Bizon and MP5K. By the way, Tommy gun has the highest HipFire recoil, just like recoil comparison. So now the final question is, which is the best SMG in this game? Well, the best overall SMG would be Micro Uzi because of its low recoil, plus high hip-fire accuracy, combined with that high rate of fire, which can shoot up to 20 bullets in just a second, which makes this weapon a beast and easier to handle this weapon. Anyway, if you can control a little bit higher recoil, then Vector would be a better option for you, because Vector can outperform Uzi in many ways if you can find the right attachments for it, and an extended mag is highly recommended for Vector. But this doesn't mean other SMGs are useless. They are useful in their own ways. For example, Tommy gun is my favorite because of its high damage, and I can easily manage to handle the weapon. It's easy for me to control the recoil of Tommy gun, but you may or may not able to control the recoil of it, so each weapon has its pros and cons. Anyway, that's all I got for this video. I hope you learned something new. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe for more videos like these, and see you guys in the next one.